Hello everybody, my name's Robert, and in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to flip money. Now I've done flipped legal things, things you didn't even realize could be brought and sold, and that things you wouldn't even think there's a market for. For me, flipping is a way of life. It's how I've lived my life since as long as I can remember. I would buy candy and bring it to school and sell it to the dudes in school. I would buy bikes. You know, like I might go buy, a friend might have 3 junky bikes at his crib. I'll go buy all 3 junky bikes, make one bike or fix all the bikes, and then sell all 3 bikes, make a profit. Always done things like that. When I was real young, I would wash cars, shovel snow, because I live in Miami now, but I grew up in Connecticut and it snows there. So, in the snowstorms, I would go out and shovel snow. I would wash cars. Just mad different things. Anything you could think of, I would do. Buy candy, bring it to school, resell it to the kids. Having a job for me really didn't work. I didn't like the being stuck. I didn't like being stuck. Tomorrow I wake up, I can only make $100. For me, it doesn't work. It's not even about the money. It's more about the freedom and the opportunity. You know, I live for the opportunity. I live for that window right there. So I have my script here. I'm gonna be reading periodically because there's a lot of points I want to hit and I want to deliver to you, so you can get a better idea and understanding what I got going on. So let's get into it. The reality of flipping. The reality of flipping is it's not guaranteed. You could invest your money into something and the next day that thing could lose its whole total value. Or today, you know, you go out and you buy 100 pairs of Jordans, right? You go buy 100 pairs of Jordans at a good price, and then when you go list them online, they dropped, or they have a value and they're not selling. You get what I'm saying? So sure, they're worth $175 a pair, but no one's buying them. So in that case, they're not worth $175 a pair. But that's part of flipping, taking risks. Taking risks, that's what it is. Sometimes your money could double, sometimes it could triple, sometimes it could go way more than that, but also you could lose a lot. I once bought a storage unit full of exit signs. Like when you're in a commercial building, you see like the signs above the door that says exit, and I thought I had a big ticket item, but it ended up being like some Harbor Freight bullshit, cheap, really cheap made products. And that kind of screwed me over. I took a really big loss. And that's just what it is. Dealing with reality. One of the most important things in flipping is dealing with reality. If you put all your money, like say you have $5,000, right? You got $5,000, nothing else. A deal comes that needs $5,000, but you don't know how long it's going to take. It's not an item that's going to sell like that. You know what I mean? You don't know how long it's going to take you to sell this. So you drop 5 G's on this item and it takes 5 months to sell. You still have rent, you still have food, you need to eat, you need to put gas in your car, you need to make moves. So dealing with reality is, dealing with reality is knowing this. All right, I need to come up with $1,800 on Friday. So instead of spending $5,000, I'm gonna spend $3,200. You get what I'm saying? That way you leave yourself $1,800 and no stress. Me, personally, I don't like to buy anything unless I'm gonna double my money or more. So I'm not buying $100 items and selling them for $125. To me, it's just not worth it. There's no room in that situation. Get what I'm saying? So like you buy a $100 item, they're worth $125. there's nowhere for you to be like, yo, fuck it, give me 110, because the reality of it is that $10, that 10% profit isn't worth putting up the $100. If I put up $100, I want bare minimum $200 back. Minimum $200. And personally, me personally, I won't spend more than half my money. So if I'm going to buy an item to flip, I'm going to spend half my. The most I will spend is half my money, and I won't, like, say I spend $10,000 today. Say I have $10,000 to my name. I go out, I spend $5,000, right? I won't go out looking for stuff to flip again until I've got back 50%. You understand what I'm saying? So I spend $10,000, I spend $5,000, I'm gonna make 10. Once I make back my original investment, then I'll go back and look for things to invest in. Now, everyone has their own way of doing things. Everyone has their own methods, and I'm not saying anybody's wrong. I'm just saying, personally, for me, what works out, and everything I've tried, what works out for me is this method. And the reason being is I overthink. So I'll get something like, oh, it's not selling fast enough, and then sell it at a loss because I need the money back because I invested too much. So by investing, I've learned that this is the only way I can work. I'll spend 50% of my money, then I'll get back my initial investment in the profit, then I'll go invest again. So it's like I have the profit sitting there and it can sell when it sells. It doesn't matter. I got my initial investment back. All right. Expect loss. Now, loss can be looked at many different ways. You have to understand, sometimes you buy an item worth $10,000 for $4,000 or $5,000, right? And you end up selling it for $2,000, or even worse, you end up dying with it. Now, what I know dying with it means that you have it. You just, like, it's just sitting in your yard rotting. It's sitting in your shed. It's sitting in your storage unit. It's sitting in your store. It's just there. It's just dying. You're gonna die with that item. Also, expecting loss can be looked at it like, all right, so you buy a $10,000 item for, say, $5,000, right? Now, it might take you 2 months to sell it for $10,000, but you could sell it the same day and make $500 or $1,000. You get what I'm saying? If you got a smart mind and you say, yo, listen, I can make $1,000 in one day. If it takes me 2 months to sell it, that makes down to, what, 60 days? It makes like $100 a day, less than $100 a day. You get what I'm saying? You got to think about it. Also, the supply and the demand of the product that I'm dealing with determines on how much I'm going to sell it for. Now, if I go into, say I go into, what's some shit called? An outlet. Say I go into an outlet, right? And in this outlet, they have Jordan 1s. They have some Jordan 1s. They have some, what the fuck were we talking about? All right, they have some Jordan 1s. What the fuck was I doing? I gotta stop smoking. All right, so there's, I'm not gonna rewind this video. But say they have some Jordan, what was I doing? What the fuck was I expecting to lose? All right, so say they have some Jordan 1s in the outlet, and there's only 5 pair of these Jordan 1s at the outlet. This is supply and demand. Got you, I'm here for y'all, you know what I mean? So you're at the outlet, and there's some Jordan 1s for $80, right? And you buy 10 pair. And you go online, and no one has the Jordans. You're the only person selling these Jordans. You could sell them for whatever the fuck you want to sell them for, or make an offer type of deal for what you want to sell. Now, if you go online, you buy these Jordans for $80, thinking you're gonna make hit a crazy lick. You go online and there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pairs. You kind of just gotta sell them, just make some money. If you could make some money, if you can't make no money, then bring them back to the store. Whatever you're gonna do. However, you have to be dealing with reality in the fact that, all right, so 10 years, they might be worth $1,000. Can you wait 10 years? You know what I'm saying? Can you wait 10 years for these shoes to mature, this investment to mature? Most people can't. Some people can. It's all on you. Okay, so now we got a Square Biz. By Square Biz, doing square business, what I mean by that is doing business in the way you want to be dealt with. So if you want to buy shitty products, if you want to buy bootleg products, if you want to buy fake products, if you want to buy shitty products, then fine, sell shitty products. But if you want to be dependable, if you want to have respect, if you want people to want to do business with you, you have to do Square Biz. You have to deal with the problems in the proper context. Now, sometimes that hurts you. Sometimes, you might buy something for $1,000, you sell it for $2,000, and you have to give this person back their 2 G's, right? Now, some people be like, oh, fuck him, he's beat. You beat him for his 2 G's, you never know what's going to come back around. Karma's a motherfucker, and bigger than karma is the people come back, and these people know each other. So you do me dirty. Now, I may never do business with you again, and that's fine by you. But what are you going to do when I see you trying to do business with one of my boys? Oh, he's a scumbag, bro. Don't fuck with home. You get what I'm saying? Or worse, you never know how this person is going to handle you burning them like that. Which leads to the next part, stand by your word. It's easy to understand why standing by your... It's easy to understand why standing by your word is a key component in flipping. Making money and doing business... The reason... What the fuck did I write? I wrote this and I can't even read it. And it's on an iPad, man. So, making money and doing business. All right, so if people can count on you, they'll always want to do business with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was washing cars. When I had a car wash, I had a mobile car wash, right? And the reason I closed it and didn't just have somebody with it is because of the way I deal with things. If I wash your car and something's wrong, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to just fix what's wrong. I'm not going to say, oh, I did it. Oh, you don't like the way your windows are clean? I'm just going to re-clean them. Why? Because there ain't no point of arguing. When people say the customer's always happy, the customer's always right. To me, I take that as the customer's, if it doesn't look done, then the customer doesn't think it's done, so just redo it. You get what I'm saying? The customer's always right because it's their money. Like, you don't realize the situation might be bad, or the customer might be being a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Over the top, like, what the fuck you want? You want $1 million job for $30. But at the end of the day, you have to treat him with kindness and respect because maybe he sends you business. You have to treat him with kindness and respect because maybe he's having a bad day, and you treating him with kindness and respect switches his whole mood, and he apologizes for being a dick. You get what I'm saying? So just always stand by your word, do Square Biz, and treat people the way you want to be treated. And deal with things the way you want to be dealt with. If you need to give somebody their money back, just give it back to them. Because if you needed your money back, you will want your money back. Boom. Sticking to what you know. So sticking to what you know. For me, I've lost money because I would buy things that I thought, one time I brought some the Bobcats, the little machine that loaders or whatever, forklift type deals. I brought some attachments for that, right? I think I was about to come up crazy. And it's something I knew nothing about. I invested my money and I got fucked. But it's whatever. I don't really care anymore. It just was a lesson. I took it as a lesson. I chalked it up and I moved on. That's a real big thing in flipping too. Is like you can't be stuck on the fact that, oh, I gotta make $5,000 off this. You running around making $5,000, you'll lose 20, which is no need for it to happen. And y'all see the way my hair grows right here? That's hair. See that little dot? That's hair. Crazy. Whatever. So, making sure, like, by sticking to what you know, you already know what it's going to sell for. Like me personally, I'm into cars, I'm into bikes, I'm into sneakers, I'm into jewelry a little bit. You see the Rollie! I'm into certain things like that, right? So when I'm out looking for things to flip, I look for these type of things because I already know. I know how to work with them. I know how to maneuver them. That's just something you should really considering when you're making flips, is sticking to things you know about. So that way you don't have to really do the research. Somebody comes with a certain watch. Say somebody comes with a 36 millimeter Datejust two-tone, and he's like, "Oh, I need 10 grand." I'm like, "The watch is like 4,500, 5,000. There's no room there." You get what I'm saying? Now, if you didn't know, say I didn't know, and he's coming like, "Yo, give me 6 grand for this watch," and I'm like, "Bet." I give you 6 grand for the Rollie because I think it's worth 10. Then I get home and it's only worth 5. I just lost a G. Or I paid $1,000 extra for a Rollie. It's just the way it goes. Stick to what you know. And do your research. And that way, you'll take less losses. You're still going to end up taking losses no matter what. There's always going to be a loss throughout your flipping. It's going to come. It's going to go. Sometimes you're going to get over. Sometimes you're going to lose. Okay. Was that just being consistent? Wow. Okay. Never be afraid to walk. Never be afraid to walk away from a deal for the simple fact that like, all right, you walk into a deal and you're going to do a deal with me, or I'm going to do a deal with you, and it's something I really want, right? Like, say a Rolex. I really want this Rolex. Now, because I want this Rolex, I'm attached to this Rolex, I'm in love with this Rolex. I'm blinded to the things. I'm not paying attention to the crystal. I'm not paying attention to the aftermarket band. I'm not paying attention to the hands not landing where they're supposed to land across the dial. If you know about watches, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then do some research. So because I'm not paying attention, I miss. I'm sorry. Because I'm not paying attention, I miss key components like that, and I buy the watch and I take a loss. And this all comes with being attached. Like, you cannot be attached to anything in this business. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you end up perfect example. I remember one time I brought a Lexus, and I brought it way under book value, right? And I was in love with this car. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna keep it for X amount of time, chill, look like the coolest kid in high school with the Lexus, and then sell it. When I got done with it, and there's still so much room now, I could keep it for X amount of time and sell it for a profit, no matter what. And what ended up happening is, I think I ended up getting into a car accident with that car and taking a big loss. And it really hurt because I had a lot of money tied up in this car. Now, when I brought the Lexus, I brought it for so cheap that I could have sold it a day or two later for maybe $1,000 or $2,000 more than what I paid for it. However, I didn't, and I took a loss. And that's because I became attached to the car. I wanted the car. And you should never do that. If you're buying something to sell it, then buy it to sell it. If you're buying a car for yourself, then buy a car for yourself and move on. Is there anything I'm missing? Let me think. Anything else I'm missing? Stick to what you know. Be consistent. Stand by your word. I don't think I'm missing anything. These are like the rules of flipping. These are my rules, my personal rules and parameters that I live by, that I implement in my everyday hustle, that in my everyday life, and it keeps me going and keeps me grounded because I know I have to keep making money, I have to keep moving things, and I keep going. Hopefully, you take this video and it helps you out through your hustles. If you have any questions, DM me. This is my Instagram, Eat Life's Lemons. I'm saying a lot, huh? This is my first video like this, and I'm gonna be making much more. So like, comment, share. Go to www.victorylaptees.com and buy some t-shirts. That's my website. Yeah, that's it. You know, be safe out there. Flip your money. Be smart. Save money. Don't indulge too much. And that's it. With that being said, video's over.